Hello everybody, this is Riley Coyote again, and I wanted to share with you my new build, my Atalanta build. And Atalanta was a woman in Greek mythology who was a huntress and a servant of Artemis, and she was apparently raised by bears, so she was a fierce huntress and warrior. Let me get into what I've got here. This is mostly a warrior and assassin build here. And let me share with you my gear here. So I'm using daggers, fire daggers. I've got warrior damage, damage with daggers, crit damage, fire damage. I'm using the staff of Hermes Trismegistus. I've got warrior damage, chance to ignore half damage, low chance for a 30% health shield, and I engraved it with fire damage. For my heavy bow, I've got warrior damage, fire damage, crit chance, and armor penetration. For the head, I've got assassin damage, 30% damage with daggers, 20% chance while crit chance while full health, and 40% chance to ignore half damage. On the arms, I've got warrior damage, 100% crit damage while full health, melee resistance, and crit chance. On the torso, I've got assassin damage, all damage, crit damage, and 50% all resistances. On the waist, I've got warrior damage, crit chance, melee resistance, and 100% crit damage while full health. And on the legs, I've got assassin damage, 20% crit chance while full health, 100% crit damage while full health, and 40% fire damage. So for the abilities, it's a warrior assassin build, primarily with some good hunter abilities as well. I'm using the second wind ability, the warrior passives, Ring of Chaos. I'm using Fury of the Bloodline to get back some good adrenaline. The overpower attacks, I've got 3 in that. I'm using Battle Cry of Ares. I'm using fire daggers, so I've got the flaming attacks and the fire mastery. In the assassin tree, I've got the shadow assassin, rush assassination, stealth master, and the death veil. For the hunter tree, I'm using sixth sense, multi-shot, devastating shot, and archer mastery. So for my abilities, I do have a lot of ability points. I've got currently 344 ability points. So you could still make a build similar to this, but just spreading out your ability points in a different way. I've got crit chance at 100% while full health. So I'm putting 20 points into crit chance, 20 points into crit damage, 12 points into range resistance, and 13 points into elemental buildup to get to 202%. Anything over 201 will instantly ignite the lower level enemies. Then for the warrior tree, I've got 15 points in warrior damage, 12 points in health, 8 points in total armor. I've got 20 points in melee resistance, 12 points in fire damage, 12 points in armor penetration, and 12 points in damage dealt restored as health. For the assassin tree, I've got 15 points in assassin damage, 20 points into damage with daggers, 20 points into crit chance while full health, 20 points damage while full health, 12 points in damage while full health, and 20 points in crit chance to ignore half damage. This is chance to ignore half damage is at 100% on this build, so it instantly makes the build a lot tankier, cutting down half of all damage. Then I've got 8 points into each adrenaline per hit and adrenaline per crit. And then I've got 12 points in chance to deal 25% of assassin damage on melee hit, which with the daggers and how fast they hit, Should happen pretty often. So I want to share with you the attributes, the percentages. So it's mostly a warrior build, which is why I've got some good resistances on this build. Got 189% warrior, 140% assassin, 50% hunter. I've got damage with daggers up to 90%. My crit chance while full health is 100%. Crit damage while full health is at 575. Fire damage is pretty high at 216%, and the fire buildup is 202%. I've got some good resistance here for melee. I've got 90% melee resistance and 34% range resistance. I would like to get a little bit more on that, but then I'd be sacrificing more damage to have to do that. And then I've got my chance to ignore half damage at 100%. And armor penetration, I do have the 30% armor perk on there, plus in my masteries I've got that at 8% more, so that's 38% armor penetration. And then the other unique modifier is the Staff of Hermes Trismegistus gives that low chance to gain a 30% health shield while when hit. And get into deep melee like that, you do see that proc quite a bit, and it's nice to have that shield. So this is very tanky build as far as getting there melee wise, and it can really dish out some quick and powerful melee damage with the daggers. Alright, so I'm going to show you some of the gameplay on Nightmare with this Atalanta build. I just lit the beacon to try to get some more enemies to come at me. I'm going to run around in this fort here at night and get some assassinations, and hopefully get enough of them come at me to actually get into some melee. You'll see with the assassinations, I am able to one-shot most anything that I'll come across, except for some of the mercenaries. I don't quite one-shot them with this build, just because it doesn't have as much assassin damage as it could, but I'm okay with that. I wanted it to be a warrior and assassin hybrid. And you'll also see later on at times you'll see the shield proccing and giving you that 30% health shield, which is really cool. It kind of gives this yellow force field around the character. And just leveled up again. So now I have 4 APs. 345. Alright, enjoy. So I want to go over the transmog for this Atalanta character. You look at ancient Greek artwork, and you'll see her oftentimes with a spear, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to use the Staff of Trismegistus. And so I was able to fit that in, moving some different perks around on the gear. And so I was able to get this cool looking spear, and then I'm also using the dagger as the main offensive weapon, and in the artwork you'll see both. So let me go into the transmog, and of course I'm using the Paris's bow, which is the only one that has white for the quiver. And then for the Staff of Hermes, I'm using the Athena's spear, which looks really good. And then for the dagger, I'm using one that looks like a short sword, just the ornate dagger adorned silver. Okay, and then for the head, I'm using the Amazonian circlet. It's the kind of silverish looking one. For the torso, I'm using this white pilgrim's garment. For the gloves, I'm using these silver bracers, which I really like the look of. It's got a little bit of gold and mostly silver. And then for the waist, I'm using the lion snare from the Nemean lion set. Since Atalanta was a huntress, it's kind of nice. It's got some lions on there, and it's got some fur, and it's also kind of white and silver, the look I was going for. And then for the boots, I'm using these silver boots to match the bracers and the other silver elements of the transmog. And so that's it. I hope you like how it looks, and it's a very strong build, and I hope you like it. All right, thanks. If you like it, leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks.